Hi, Gordon here with another edition of the Unscripted Series. I was asked a question: how do we avoid burnout? And it's an interesting question. I'll start with the fact that we're just passionate about what we do, and for Shar and I, we never get away from it, and we don't want to. We may not be in the shop, but we're on email or on the website or on the database. And we just love that, and I hope that we always will. We early on, we worked in the shop, 3, 4, 5 days a week, and then when we started kind of the Uke Tracker thing and scheduling ourselves in a more scheduling ourselves out into the future and being very specific about what days we were going to work. We worked in the shop 4 days a week, and then we ramped up to 5 days a week. And the problem with that was that we ended up being in the shop 7 days a week. And so let's see, if we built our first ukulele in the spring summer of '08, then we had ramped up to 5 days a week very consistently toward the about a year later, and toward the end of '09. And in the middle of 2010, beginning, let's say, of 2010, we were at a solid 5 days a week. But as I said, that we were booked 5 days a week. We're in the shop 7. And then we took a month off. We went to South America. We went to the Galapagos Islands and Machu Picchu. And that was a great experience for us because we totally got away from the business. And at that point, we said, we are on a path to burnout, and we don't want to burn out. And we use this expression often: we're running a marathon, and in a marathon, you don't sprint. Maybe at the very end, but you don't want to burn out. And so we backed off to 4 days a week, and then we backed off to a mix, and I'm talking about shop days now, a mix of 3 or 4, and now we're solidly at 3. And that is a pace that we think we can maintain for a long, long time. The rhythm in the shop is very different from when we're out of the shop. I'm out of the shop right now. In fact, I'm on vacation, and I'm doing my MOA work. But I don't have to. I don't have to do this today. The shop, when we're scheduled, like we're scheduled for this Sunday, and when we go out, we have to go out. Otherwise, Uke Tracker is off. And people go, wait, or I think they would, what's going on with my instrument? And so I think that requirement weighs heavy on our mind, and that's the requirement that we wanted to keep to a reasonable minimum at 3 days a week. With Aaron, I think what he would say is that whereas Shar and I want to be in touch 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, basically, Aaron would say, I need to get away from it. So we book him in the shop for 4 days a week, and he is not responsible for any owner interaction at all. So he avoids burnout by getting away for 3 days a week and just putting it out of his mind and not having to, that's how he recharges his batteries and doing some other things. And so anyway, that's the answer to how we avoid burnout. First of all, mentally, we look at this as a marathon, not as a sprint, and we schedule ourselves accordingly. And if we see any elements, my experience in business is that if you burned out, it's too late. It is unrecoverable. So I want to see that way off in the distance so that I can make some adjustments to it with Shar and I, or Aaron, and adjusting accordingly. And we try to measure that pretty carefully. So it's a very cool question that you ask, and that's the answer. See you next week. Bye-bye.